Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am PANCZASU, the mighty Mig Spire. It is very nice to see you today in endless space. I do want to remind you that this Monday, at least for most of the nations on Earth, well maybe not for most, but for many of the nations on Earth, this Monday a certain dev called Medoc is going to play with us at, I believe he said 1900 GMT. He will create a room and I will be led there gladly, and if you want to come by and stop, by all means, yeah, let's have as many players as you can, but I do hope I'll be able to get there before others. So yeah, I'm just giving you a heads up to try to make your way over there, because it will probably be a ton of fun. I might actually record this, I really might. Now, there's a battle incoming, that's not a problem. Apparently the Horatio managed to make its way towards Zenith. Notice how I call Horatio an it, because it is an it, since it doesn't deserve any more respect than that. Imperator B3, melee kinetics and a bunch of deflectors. Well, why? Oh my. It looks like I'm going to counter this guy relatively well. My Simics might perish, but my fake Simics, they will not. So let's just go for standard targeting information. There is nothing I need to really do with that. I don't remember what cards the Horatio were playing. Of course they can change it up, and AI frequently does, especially when you play with other human players as well. Then AI tends to mix things more often than in, you know, single player. At least that's what I noticed. But maybe it's just, you know, me being lucky and or unlucky. Depending. Anyway, what do I want to go for? I actually cannot make up my mind. I mean, we're both using kinetics. I guess I could go for Weapon Overclock. It is a very nice, powerful card that I could use. It wouldn't grant me extra accuracy because I do not have melee kinetics. I have medium range. So that's not exactly all that great. But I could go for Short Circuit instead and grant extra accuracy for my Simic kinetics, which would be something already. Or I could instead go for Camouflage. Not a bad idea, not a bad idea. It would decrease the enemy's... well, it would increase my chance to dodge the enemy bullets. It looks like I'm having some problems speaking proper English tonight. Why is that? I don't really know. Maybe I'm just excited. Why? Because this Monday not only I will be able to play with the dev. I mean, in fact, this is the only thing that I'm going to do on that specific day, and one more thing. This other thing will be playing Hate Plus. Once it comes out, it is a game that I've been waiting for, like what, 15 months or something? Yeah, once it does finally come out, trust my word, I'll be just playing it until I finish it. I will not go to sleep. Well, I actually might go to sleep and eat. Most likely, I'll in fact try to play it as slowly as possible, because I don't want to finish it too soon, if you know what I mean. I want to chase the rabbit, not necessarily catch it. But yeah, I'm very excited that Hate Plus is coming. It is almost here, I can almost taste it. I am going to replay the entire analog Hate story yet again, for yet another time, just to maybe, you know, have a more interesting setup before I start playing in Hate Plus. Maybe I'll actually have 100% completionist. Completion rate in analog, which would be nice, but I'm not necessarily, you know, desperate to get it before I play Hate Plus. I just want to play Hate Plus because this will be awesome. Also, was it just me, or were there some ships attacking my ships? Hold on a second. Oh yeah, there's some bombers still alive, I see. And hold on a second, is that, yeah, those are my fighters. Actually, I lost some fighters, that's interesting. Okay, so the Horatio are actually using some kind of strong bombers, because I noticed that it took my fighters a while to actually take them out. Either that or this guy actually had a lot of fighters. Both of those things could apply. However, I would love to get a better camera angle, because this one wasn't all that great. Okay, end of the battle, nothing really happened. I could have played a little bit more aggressively to actually take out the enemy. It is most likely what I should have done, but I didn't precisely do it. Why? I don't really know. I can fix my mistake though, and I'll do so quite gladly. Where is my most powerful Ginseng Fleet? There it is. Yeah, Ginseng is definitely the most powerful, so let's try and strike back. The Empire strikes back, one might even say, which sounds... Actually, hold on a second, this will lower my damage on my weapons, and I do have some long-range weapons. I do not necessarily want to go for this. Also, the enemy will have quite a low hit rate from long range, and if he actually goes for my predecessors, again, I should go for adaptive strategy. because when it counters the enemy, it doesn't lower my defense efficiency, and it decreases my weapon damage by 50%, which is a huge amount. So I'm gonna assume that the enemy goes for the exact same strategy as he did last time, and go for double adapt strategy, and then another persistence to repair any damage that I will take, and I will take some damage. That's pretty much a guaranteed thingy. That said, the enemy no longer has any fighters and bombers, so that's going to make the battle a little bit easier on me. Man, I cannot wait for Hit Blast. I tell you, there will be nothing that I will be interested in, even remotely, when I play Hit Blast. I mean, the endless space game with Adair is the only exception. I might actually cast it as well, but I'm stressing out that Hit Blast is so important for me because, one, I want to promote it since it is, you know, its predecessor, its prequel. Analog Hate Story is my favorite game of all time. And secondly, because I might make less videos during this time, or actually I will make no videos during this time, and it depends how many videos I'll be able to make over this week. If I'll make a lot of them, then you will not notice that I keep playing Analog. But if I will not, then you will notice that I keep playing Analog and then not playing anything else. Hopefully not, though you will not. Also, I don't think that Head Plus will take me too long to accomplish, even if I'll try to go for the completionist kind of approach. And you never know, maybe I'll just lose. It was possible to lose in Analog, I might lose in Head Plus as well. I cannot wait. I hope it will be good. I hope it will be great, because if not, then I'll be severely disappointed. I mean, I know it is not going to be as good as I expect it to be. Why? Because, you know, its previous game from the same developer was my favorite game of the time, so obviously, naturally, I expect the newer game to be just as good, even though I know it most likely will not be. It is very much so possible that Analog was this one-of-a-kind game that just cannot be beaten, even by newer generations of games made by the same guy. I almost said guy, but then I realized this would be kind of silly, because the person that is responsible for Analog and Hit Blast is actually a girl. Just a single guy. I mean, there was somebody who helped her with, you know, art, I believe, and somebody else who did the music, but she just writes a lot of stuff for her games. She's pretty much a writer, except not quite, because, yeah, her games are still games in my honest opinion. Okay, I have a lot of fake simics. What do I want to do with those guys? No idea. I'll probably just let them stay at Jinsen. That's probably what was my plan originally. I want to make sure that they are still here stationed, and that they do not let anybody come in and try to capture Jinsen. All my systems, by the way, are now completely purified of the evil dust, plague, and menace. And now I am actually, as you're going to see in score, I'm still the last out of the living players, sure. But if you remember what my score used to be, then you can see that I actually jumped quite high right now, and I'm catching up to the Sophons and Horatio as well, and Soars. So I'm not out of the game yet, I'm not. I mean, I will lose. I need to stress this out over and over again, because I have no real hopes to survive. But, at the same very time, I'm more and more confident in my ability to take down the Horatio with me, and possibly one other player as well. Who knows, maybe I'll kill the Automatons or Soars. Or together with the Horatio. This would be nice, wouldn't it? Then cravers would declare war on me and kill me within a single turn, or they will just finish the wonder or scientific or any other victory that they will achieve. And yeah, this is most likely what is going to happen, but until then I'm still very much still alive, and the enemy, even with its fast attack, cannot withstand my awesomeness. Although they do have two Imperators over here and a Striker. How did this fleet grow to be so powerful and big and mighty? I thought it is way weaker than that. Apparently it is not, and I do not have any Hug Me Please or in this fleet to actually tank the damage for me, which is bad. I mean, those fake mimics, they do have a fair amount of deflectors on them, but that's not nearly enough, I'm afraid. Yeah, what I should have done is fit another Simic in this fleet just to act as a kind of a meat shield, and I didn't do so for whatever reason that I do not understand. So, what am I going to do? Start with Spread Fire. I don't want to destroy this Striker, it is an extra damage output, but it should go down very easily, so might as well Spread Fire to make sure that he does go down. With Spread the Fire, keep in mind I'll attack every single one of their ships. With Guillotine, however, it will be less efficient, and I might not be able to destroy the Striker, and if I go for Nosebreaker, then obviously I'll just probably focus on Imperator and leave Striker alone, which is suboptimal. In medium and melee phase, however, I plan to switch into Nosebreaker to actually try and pretend like I can take down one of the Imperators. Now, what do I want to start with? The enemy might go for another persistence, which would be stupid, so they will most likely not go for it, even though I hope they would. So instead, let's start with camouflage. I want to evade as much incoming damage as I possibly can. Another persistence in melee. As for medium, if the enemy does go for the another persistence, then adopt a strategy all the way. I want to make sure that I actually deal some damage instead of no damage. But we will see how well it goes. The enemy does have 2 fighters and 4 bombers at their disposal. I'm pretty sure that the striker doesn't have anything. So I should be able to win the fighter fight and then actually assault the enemy this way. I mean, I have plenty more fighters than the enemy has. 5 fighters against 2, it's not even a challenge, even if the enemy has better equipped fighters. And I'm pretty sure they do have a better tank fighters. Anyway, the change that the devs did to the military tree, which is causing it to actually... Well, basically what they did is now with less weapon variety, which I still do not really like. I think they went overboard with this, but the idea with less weapon variety, of course, was that now if somebody has a huge leading tech, they are not necessarily going to always overpower the guy with less tech. For example, even if you have crappiest weapons possible and the enemy has the best, you're of course being at a major disadvantage, but it's not that big of a disadvantage. You are still in the game. Whereas in the past, that wouldn't necessarily be the case. What I believe that should have done is do not go this far and at least leave us with, like, hold on a second, what kind of phase did I counter the enemy? I did not, but it went relatively okay. Actually, I could counter defense somehow. So let's do just that, make sure the enemy misses a little bit more. So anyway, I would like to see one more level of beam, missile and kinetic weapons, because right now you can get a maximum level of those weapons in like medium game even. And then there's just nothing, you can only upgrade with almost fighters, which is still good, but I would like to see like one top of the best of the best kind of weapons that you can have, so high that they are the hardest tech to get except for Pan-Galactic Society, which is of course the scientific victory. That's one complaint I have about the change in military tree, but other than that I shouldn't really complain because this allowed me to actually stay in the game and survive, and I just realized I forgot to change from Nosebreaker, I forgot to change to Nosebreaker. I went with Spread Fire all the way, which was suboptimal. It could have been better, but I did take out the enemy striker and I did deal quite a bit of damage to this Imperator. Now I'm not going to attack the enemy again, I will just let them rot in the system. They're not blockading me as it is right now. And attacking them again would possibly not be the best idea ever. I would rather just let them rot in here for as long as possible. Actually, they might have repairs systems, and if that's the case, I should just attack them and try to hope for the best. Well, that is food for thought, in fact. Maybe I should think about it. Maybe I should think about it, indeed. Meanwhile, I'm trying to capture Zenith as quickly as humanly possible. It does certainly have a lot of defenses. I'm only gaining 16% per 10. That's suboptimal, even with all of my, invasion ships. Now, what you can see right now is that I did go for a kind of strange industry conversions in my systems. Prototype is going for industry to food. Why? Because even with all this alien graphic I'm having right now, my food income is still relatively low because I have a lot of lavas, which, yet again, by themselves, they don't produce any food whatsoever. With alien graphic, that's partially fixed of an issue, but they still produce a very small quantity of food per population. Actually, what I want to do is max out population on this tundra as soon as possible, because then my restoration grades will kick into play. However, right now doing so is impossible, so I'd much rather keep my population on this lava to give me a little bit of extra industry, because keep in mind, this very industry can be converted into food. Actually, what I'm going to do now is check if it wouldn't be better if I didn't have this population on Terran and instead have it on lava. No, I'll lose 100 food. Gain a ton of industry, but I don't need it right now. What I need is food. Prototype is starving for population. Once I get it maxed out, or near to being maxed out, this would be a beast of a system, one of the best systems in the entire universe, in my honest opinion. But before that happens, I just need to focus on food as much as humanly possible. That's why I'm not changing any other plants into lavas or doing anything as silly as that. That's why I keep alien graphing on all my planets, because it's just so very important. My other systems, however, though to know is 1/10 for being maxed out, which is nice. Same applies to Mrs. Farland, I believe. It is actually already maxed out, which is nice. It means I no longer have to go out for alien graphing. Instead, let's go for the other exploitations. And I still have exercise stations. Wow, I'm far behind in this regard. I mean, they still... Actually, they do not give me any bonuses on helium. They will in the future, but I do need to fix that. I mean, they have very outdated exploitation, and I could get a bunch more science by updating it. I'll think about it. I also need to get better, you know, industry exploitation, more so than anything else, honestly. But this, I guess, we'll wait until I actually do get it. Amnesia, it is just making ships. In this particular time, it made me a Hungry Piece and a Cutter. Now, a Cutter I made deliberately because I want him to go on an interstellar journey over here. It will take him a very, very long time, and I actually should have made him go to sink and then travel from over there. It would take less time, but I didn't think. So, you know what? I might make yet another Cutter and actually see if he will make it where I want him to go faster than his brother. Because I want to discover more substances of the Sheredyn. Why? Well, the answer to that is very simple. That's why my traders give me food instead of dust, and I do need as much food as humanly possible, but to gain more food I need to discover more of my friendly system, since you can only have one trader per discovered friendly system. Okay, what else is there for me to do? Hungry Piece. Well, this guy definitely needs to go to Jensen and shoot the fleet that I have over there. But in the meantime, I think I'm actually going to attack with Yoda, for the reasons I explained last time. However, now I'm definitely going to go for Nosebreaker. I will start off by repairing most likely, although Short Circuit might be a better idea. Now, I'll start by repairing when the enemy has the smallest damage output, so it's okay. In medium range, I will have quite a big damage output, and the enemy will still not be on his maximum potential, so I think I might go for either Adaptive Strategy or Weapon Overclock, which will actually work exactly the same. It will lower my anti-missile defense, but that doesn't matter. So Weapon Overclock is by far a safer tactic, but the enemy last time went for defense, so I cannot really go for Weapon Overclock. So instead, I might go for another strategy and then repair my damage again. If the enemy does go for defense, however, I'll change that to Short Circuit to try and counter them if at all possible. So let's go for manual. I know that maybe I should, most likely I should start with Short Circuit on long range. However, my reasoning is very simple. I want to repair the damage I have taken already, and this phase is fairly good for that because the enemy is going to miss like half of the shots anyway. Because while melee kinetics, they are fairly accurate, but they are not really accurate. This made no sense whatsoever, but maybe somebody somewhere out there understood what I was trying to say. Time for fat news, I wanted to say. Time for sad news, everybody. Last Thursday was the last time I ever watched Pacific Rim, and I feel sad. I really, really feel legitimately sad. Why? Because it's no longer in cinema. Stupid effing Elysium took its place, and now you cannot actually watch Pacific Rim in an IMAX. Maybe, just maybe, in some lower quality cinemas there is still Pacific Rim, but it wouldn't be the same as IMAX. I'm not gonna go there even if it is still there. I will just wait for the DVD to arrive. But oh, I didn't notice the enemy actually went for Weapon Overclock. That's fairly bad, because now they're going to counter me quite severely. But if that's the case, I will gladly go to Magnetic Field to counter them instead and see how far I can go there. Anyway, I'm gonna miss Pacific Rim. I really, really am. I mean, I've been at the exact last screening. It was like, I think it was 9 p.m. Yeah, that was. It was a screening at 9:45 p.m. Last one, quite a lot of people actually came as well, and I'm pretty sure that's because more people than just I, discovered that it's the last time to see Pacific Rim in an IMAX, so they were like, yeah, we've seen it already, but we might as well see it again, since that we'll never have a chance to do so in the future. So, yeah, I'm going to miss this movie. I'm really going to miss this movie, that's all I can say, really. Because it's amazing. It will give the current generation of children childhood, really, because that's the kind of movie that we were missing for a very, very long time. When was the last time I've seen a great movie made? Aside from Push, but Push doesn't count because I'm pretty certain I like it because it somehow just fits my personality very well, but I can admit that Push is not necessarily the best movie of all times, even if it is my favorite, right? I know this. But other than that, new movies that are really, really good, not a lot of them have been made recently, not really. The newest one I can think of is Man from Nowhere, also called Ajashi. It is a Korean movie, an amazing movie, you have to watch it if you can. Man from Nowhere, remember the name, it is incredible. Anyway, what I want to do in this time, I think I'll keep my meter at food conversion for now. Why? Because I'm still trying to max out the prototype. However, on the other side, many of my systems are already being maxed out, so after they become maxed out in the next 10, some of them will at least, I mean, and by some I mean don't know, I might move the slider to actually get a little bit more science, which wouldn't be a very bad idea indeed. I mean, Amnesia and Prototype, well, Prototype does need more population. Ginseng 2 and Amnesia 2, yeah, I'm going to keep this matter over here, but maybe, just maybe, I'll give myself a tiny bit, yeah, like 5%. That's still a very big boost to food, but at least I'll gain some in science, and maybe get atomic substrates at some point in time. Actually, I want to get those atomic substrates rather quickly, so why don't we actually get them as quickly as possible? Yeah, let's go for that. 45% is fairly nice. I still get a boost to food, but at the very same time, I am going to get those atomic substrates in just 2 turns, which is by all means alright with me. So let's end this particular turn. Let me drink a little bit of water. I do have juice right next to me, but I'm saving it. Not sure why, but I'm saving it. Actually, I shouldn't, because I have backup juice. Whatever, I would have to open it, and it would be all awkward, and I'm the kind of person that likes to save stuff for later, if you understand. Okay, so that's interesting. Apparently I have a pre-schism artifact. I didn't even know I got the tech to actually exploit them. Did I get the tech? Oh yeah, I did, because it was personal cheating. Oh, what does it do for me? I did not even know that. Extra science, that's very awesome, and less buyout. I actually don't care about that whatsoever. I don't care about approval either, so I don't really care about pre-schism artifact all that much. In return, they'll give me hypermagnetic shielding, shielded fighters, and heavy bombers. Let's have a quick look how difficult would it be for me to actually get it any other way. Where is it? Hypermagnetic shielding? Well, 6 stars? That's not all that great. Keep in mind, I would give them the pre-skins for artifact for pretty much forever, and I'll just gain a one-time boost in my tech. But it would be a fairly decent boost, because then I would be able to make better bombers and better fighters, which in turn would possibly mean that I would have more efficient military. Then again, do I really need a more efficient military? Mine is strong enough. What I need is more invasion firepower and more things that actually make my systems better. For example, I need that. I need hydrosequencing, but I have no titanium actually. Is there titanium anywhere somewhere here around? Maybe no. No, the only titanium is on the east side, and I still did not gain access to it. And in fact, Sophons are about to gain influence area over it, and this would be very bad, because then I wouldn't actually be able to settle over there. Suboptimal, to say the least. Suboptimal. Do I want to agree to that? I mean, it is extra. I will let them have it. Reason being, I actually want the Sheredyn to have an advantage. This will increase the buyout bonus, and they are Sheredyn, they are specialized in buying out the units for dust, and having more military, they will actually allow them to survive for longer and hold the cravers back. If they die to cravers, then things will go horribly wrong for everybody, because cravers have a fleet that is bigger than the fleet of everybody else in the entire galaxy combined, and they already, wow, they grabbed the homeworld of the automatons. That's actually really frightening. I'm very happy I did not agree to be a part of the war against cravers. This way I actually might be the last man standing. I'm gonna accept this. But I might be the last man standing simply because cravers will wipe out everybody else before wiping out me. Then they will kill me, yes, but at least I will live for longer than anybody else, which is, I guess, something. Alright, you sir, upgrade your fighters, please. Okay. And now I have 2 fighters ready for combat over here. Actually, it's only a single fighter using 2 slots. But those fighters are fairly powerful, and they will take out any other inferior fighters without too much of a problem. Let's get some more deflectors as well, because I can and I gladly will. Unfortunately, I don't have titanium to abuse the armor, but yeah, well, I don't have the titanium to abuse the armor, so I cannot really go for that, can I? Alright, let's also update the fake Simic. Let's see what you have to offer. Well, I can get better bombers, and I will gladly do so. Now I use actually less tonnage, but I also do not have 1 slot. I mean, I still have 1 slot available, because those bombers actually do cost more tonnage, so I couldn't equip them all that well. So let's get possibly less deflectors. or less flak. I'm gonna risk with going with less flak because I don't think that the pirates will be using flak. And yeah, the pirates might be using beams, so I would possibly... So maybe there I should leave some more shielding. But I'm gonna risk it, I'm gonna go for this, and I'm gonna hope that my Hug Beam piece will actually take the damage for me if necessary. In fact, I should make 3 dedicated to fighting pirates, consisting of Simics, that are just here to actually, you know, wreak havoc and whatnot. Then again, yeah, I don't even know what the pirates are using right now. I don't even know if they are still here, but they most assuredly are. I don't think that they're so scared to wipe them out just yet at the very least. Alright, you, dear cutter, go over here, go to the Sing, and then while he reaches Sing, I will tell him to go over there, but I'm pretty sure he will get there faster than this cutter. Anyway, Horatio attacked me, this time with a hero, however, where on Jinsen. Where did they come from? Because I'm pretty certain they didn't have a hero over there before. I guess they just assigned him, which is bad for business if you ask me, bad for business indeed. Okay, let's go for Nosebreaker. Let's start by healing up some of my damage. Then if the enemy continues going for Weapon Overclock, then by all means I'll just go for Magnetic Field and counter them. But we will see what the enemy tries to go for. After this battle as well, I might actually end this cast. I know it will be a little bit shorter than my average, but I do need to do some stuff today as well as making this video cast, so you know how it goes. Alright, I'll turn off the HUD after I see what the enemy goes for. I want to make sure that they indeed are going for Weapon Overclock before I do anything silly, like turning off HUD and not noticing that they're going to counter me every single time. Okay, fleets are in position and ready for combat. Unleash hell! Alright, they are indeed going for Weapon Overclock, nothing to worry about. Let's watch the spectacle of life and death. Mostly death, to be honest, mostly death. Man, those dreadnoughts, however, the Horatio are really lucky being able to make them, because every time they make this dreadnought, they actually gain extra pro on the systems, which is very helpful. This also reminds me of my Judicators of Lyn that I told you about last time, showed you the article that you could read that I made about Judicators of Lyn, and it will still be in the description of this video as well, by the way. But the fun part about them, I'm still using the non-modded version of Judicators of Lyn in my online fight against games there, and they, even though they are, you know, not as cool as they will be in my mod, but they are still fairly awesome. I mean, I have the smallest empire out of all people in the entire galaxy. I only have like 6 runs or something, or maybe even 5 systems. Everybody else has like 10 or 12 or something along those lines. And I'm not necessarily in the lead, but I'm like the second best player, arguably fair, but I'm definitely one of the best players in the galaxy, which is the power of the Judicators of Lyn, which is exactly what I was trying to get, you know, go for. And I'm very happy that I managed to achieve that, even without the use of the mod. Imagine how cool it will be to go for a tall but not wide empire once I actually implement this faction in my mod. This will be awesome. Sadly, right now I don't really have a lot of time to do it, but rejoice the children of Nod, as I managed to counter the enemy completely and severely, and yeah, they're pretty much dead. They're just, well, I have no life left whatsoever, but the enemy is very much so dead, which is good by all means, good by all means. Anyway, I think that's it for me today. It was PANCZASU, the Mighty Mix Power. If you somehow managed to enjoy my videocast, then please, by all means, like it. Maybe even subscribe to my channel if you wish to see more. Also, please do leave a comment. They help me out a great deal. For example, last time somebody left a comment, they actually pointed out that the game sound was too loud. So now I adjusted, and I hope it will be okay. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you online.